All right, hello students. Sorry. Over here. Okay, hello. Hello students. So this week we're taking somewhat of a break. When I say a break, there won't be any assignment or assessment attached to this week's learning. This week you will just be learning about the weapons of World War I, the armas of World War I, and kind of learning about them so you have a better knowledge of not only what was used, or as far as weapons, how it was used, and get some idea of how those weapons change the course of war, and how wars look today, or how fighting looks today. So just to quickly go over what you guys have available to you to do that. So you have these directions, again, just saying, read the document, weapons, armas. You can also review the slides. Each of the slides has a video or pictures connected with the reading. And there won't be any assignment attached to this. You can use this week to make up work for this class or for your other classes, and just kind of either get ahead or catch up with where things are in this class or other classes. So this slide has a bunch of pictures. Each of the pictures and videos, and this is a really neat one. Maybe just pause here for a moment. The rifles, as you guys can see here, were bolt action rifles. So not single shot, multiple shots, but they had to be, the bolt had to be pulled back, and you'll see that in the video. You can see them being used and get some idea of how very different fighting used to be than the movies and video games you sometimes see today. Also, on that somewhat different but similar, the machine guns, and this is something you see more often in movies about fighting today, what they looked like at that time and how they developed, and kind of see how they looked in the war. This would be a movie we would have watched together in class, the movie War Horse. Very good movie. In this scene you can kind of see how machine guns were used and how they changed the war a lot. No more horses. So French machine gun, and from there each of the slides, like I said, follows the reading and has videos kind of detailing what the weapon looked like and how it was used, and some pictures to do the same. And this is one weapon, poison gas. So I think it's called in Spanish. You can see it in the reading here too. Gas venoso, but poison gas, and it was used for the first time in World War I. And when it was used, it changed war tremendously, especially for the men fighting, and you can kind of see some pictures of that. And those changes not only have this very visible record to them, and records you'll see in the videos, but even as a personal connection. And this is my great-grandfather. He fought in World War I and was wounded by poison gas. And somewhat an interesting family story about that poison gas, his experience with it. And you can relate this to today when you go to the store and you wear a surgical mask, or you wear some sort of face covering to go into a store or a place of business right now during this shelter-in-place COVID outbreak. They would have to wear gas masks, and he would describe the gas mask as being like breathing, like your hand is covering your face, and you would have to wear the gas mask for the length of a battle. Could be 1 hour, could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and at various times, if it was windy, you had to put your gas mask on, like windy right now, because you didn't want the enemy to let poison gas go and it drift down to where you are. And he was wounded literally because he was sitting with a gas mask on, got tired of it, looked around, thought everything was okay, took it off to take a deep breath, and breathed in poison gas. and immediately put his mask back on and burned his lungs, but didn't want to tell anybody because he thought his superior officers would get upset with him, and he fought the war with burned lungs. And when he was older, he could sometimes run out of energy. My dad who grew up with him much closer than I did, he passed away when I was 5. He would describe, like, they would go hunting or something or fishing, and he would have to sit and take a break because his lungs would be tired from the walking. And he didn't smoke, he didn't drink. So a real healthy guy otherwise, but his lungs were smaller because there was so much burned tissue in his lungs. All right, so you've got that. Slides to view, some really neat ones. Tanks are also a really neat one. And what the slides connect with is, again, this reading. You guys saw this. And what I'm just asking for you guys to do is just do this reading. Develop knowledge on the weapons so that you guys can use that just to better understand what the fighting in World War I was like. We'll go back to kind of some readings and assessments next week. But like I was saying before, your main goal this week is basically just to read, to learn about the weapons of World War I. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Please email me, and if you email me between 8 and 4, I usually get back to you within a few minutes. Anytime after that, by the next day. And I hope everything is going well for you guys. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.